if she can make it, but then she just hit me and said that she might not be able to make it.
Oh no.
Yeah, but she said she's still over her mama house, so if she can get on,
Okay.
she'll be on here. But we'll give him a few seconds to come in.
Well, hopefully, this can be the start of something. I don't know, because I watched the other ones that you've done, and
Right.
it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, well, we can do something every week, Shawty, every day. It's yeah. Like I like it to have other people's, what I mean, input instead of
And
just
it's
me talking
so
all the time.
many topics. It's a lot of
Right.
stuff to be discussed, like stuff
Right.
relating to us. You know what I mean? Stuff that's
Yeah.
happening. It's a
Like when
lot.
we did the dating in your 50s, they want to do a part two. We stayed on 2.5 hours.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I didn't see that one. I saw the last one, but I didn't see that one. So this is part two.
Nah. They want to do. Might do it. Well, one day this week.
All right, let's get
But
it.
we don't got a few viewers, so we can chime it up a little bit.
All right, all right. Well,
So
you know, it
how
takes
you
one.
been?
Huh?
How you been?
I've been good. I'm a grandmother now,
Okay.
and I love it, man. I love it, and I work from home, and I run a business, and that's it. Because I stopped flying a long time ago. So, and then I taught for
Oh,
a while,
okay.
and I'm just home chilling.
Oh, okay. So for those who don't know, well, first of all, welcome back to the Papa Black Podcast. And for those who don't know, this is a dear friend of mine. We went to school together, stayed in the same neighborhood. Y'all give it up for Miss Erica Wynn.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, man. Now, how you feel about the state of today's black man?
Ooh, we got our work cut out for us. I mean, I love a black man. I love my brothers. Um, that'll never change. But I feel like we've come a long way, yet there is still a ways to go. I just feel like black men need to know their worth,
Right.
and more importantly, they need to know our worth as black women. And I
Right.
think that will help them know who they are, if that makes sense.
Right. I mean, yeah, we gotta come back together. I don't know how we really fell apart, but we gotta come back together because y'all really all we got.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? Because we on the bottom of the totem pole now.
yeah.
Because black women get more opportunities than black men, and they really afraid of us
When
because
you
they
say they,
like.
meaning they.
I mean, as in, now I can't just say the white man, but society, because
Mm-hmm.
they know how much power we got, but we
Mm-hmm.
don't realize how much power we got.
Exactly.
Like a lot of things that we do, they mimic and copy us and try to make whatever we do, they try to make it theirs. You know what I mean? Like
You can think about what that
everything.
comedian said. Everybody want to be us, but don't nobody want to be us. You know what I
Right,
mean? Because we
right.
are the most imitated race
That's right.
and culture. I mean, everybody. Look at that video. The Asians, you name it. Everybody mimics us,
That's right.
but they don't know what it takes to be us.
Right. And I think they like being us, but not being us. You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? Because they don't have to
Exactly.
deal with the pain and suffering that we have to deal with. You know
They
what I
didn't put
mean?
in that
But
work. They didn't put in
right,
the work.
right. So I mean, but we got to learn how to stick together. We got to start respecting each other more.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Because you know
Definitely.
what I mean. And then I think a lot of black women got to start respecting themselves too,
Oh
and
yes.
that'll
Definitely.
help us to respect the black woman. Like
Definitely.
every time I go on Facebook or Instagram, I see them half naked or they twerking or something, and I keep trying to tell them that's not gonna get you a black man,
Right.
not a man.
Right.
That'll get you somebody that want to play with you and sleep with
Right.
you, but you're not gonna get in respect that way.
Right. So it starts within. It definitely starts within.
Right. But I know a lot of black women, they feel like, well, I should be able to do what I want to do. And, you should. But it depends on what you're trying to get. If you're just
Yeah, I
trying to,
mean, there's always a time and place. I mean, and don't get
right,
me wrong,
right,
I don't have a problem with women that twerk. I just feel like, and this is my opinion only, twerking should be done in private, if so to speak. You know what I
right,
mean? Like
Right.
the world don't want to see you on social media twerking. Like that's not why I would want to come on social media to see how well somebody twerks or see them from the back before you even know what they look like on social media.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And because some twerking is a talent. And if I,
Right.
get into the dating topic, if I were dating, I would twerk in private. You know what I mean? But again,
Right.
it's not for the world to see. It's not.
Right. So you're not dating.
I am not dating.
You single or you
I
gonna
am
get married
very
or
single, and I'm single by choice, not by force.
right.
And I have friends I go out with, you know what I mean, on time to time, but it's no one can say, hey, who is that calling or what you doing, or I don't
Right.
have those worries right now.
Right. And I think we done got too old for all that checking in and answering a bunch of questions because I hate that with a passion. I
Yeah,
really do. And if you trust me, we're gonna be all right. If you don't,
exactly.
we're not gonna make it.
I'm not a fan of checking the phones. I need to
Right.
know your password. I shouldn't have to do all that. I feel like more time should be spent doing something positive
That's right.
or
I mean,
something to make it better.
yeah, and I'm the same way. Like, I'm not finna look at a woman phone. I don't, if somebody calling you, man, I don't care nothing about that because whatever's done in the dark will come to the light. And when it's meant
Exactly.
for me to see it, I'm gonna see it. You know
And
what
I
I mean?
feel like too, when you decide you want to go out with somebody or be with that person, I feel like it should be made known up front what your intentions are, what you want. So if you
Right.
want to go out with me or date me and still talk to other people and do what you want to do, let me know so that way I can have the right to decide. Because with these songs, the side piece song and she ain't my girl, she ain't
Right.
my girl, she my girlfriend, she ain't my wife type of songs. You got some women that are with that. You know what I mean? They want to be able to see
Right.
you and see him and him too. So it's fair to give that person a choice. It's
Right.
selfish to try to date somebody and not be honest with them about what you're doing.
Right. And a lot of men don't realize if you're honest with a woman and they can tell that you mean what you say, you can pretty much do what you want to do. As long as you give them
Exactly.
the option to
Exactly.
deal with you or to leave. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I've always been very honest about who I am, and I ain't never had a problem doing what I want to do.
I mean, that came with experience. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't always like that. You know what I mean? And I figure you get older, you grow, you learn. So
Right. I mean, but you had two dominant protectors because we used to watch you walking home from school, and boy,
yeah,
we
we
used to
ain't
be
gonna get
like,
into that
man. No, I'm
because
just
they ain't
saying,
so
like,
protected now. But we ain't gonna get into
but
that.
you're grown, so they can
Yeah.
they can relax a little bit, but still they need to be on guard because even my little sister, we protected her, and now what I mean. We know she can handle herself, but it's still we're a phone call away. You know what I
I got my
mean?
protection from the pawn shop, but that's a whole
Right.
nother. The brother can't get there all the time, so
Right. Right. And then they done got older too, so they ain't too
they
quick
ain't what they
to
used to be. Because
right.
this song that's just as hard, just as strong, and
Yeah.
just as tough now. It's a whole new breed out there now. So
Yeah. And
I
they
ain't
they
looking
shoot
for that.
first and we used to fight first. They shoot first, so it is a difference. You
They
know what I
shoot
mean?
first, then they run.
Right. Yeah, man. Because they are not good with them hands no more.
Mm-mm,
So
mm-mm.
they scared of them hands. Like my little nephew got killed. Fred's son got killed. And
Oh no! But
back
wait,
in
wait. This
nine
was a while ago. I remember
yeah,
that. This was a
back
while
in
ago.
2012. And
Mm.
when I was looking on all the social media back then, that's all everybody was talking about. He had them hands. He had them hands. And when I talked to the young guy that he was hanging with, I was like, look, from what I see, nephew was y'all protector.
Mm.
And they was like, no, it wasn't like that, Uncle. I'm like, yeah, everybody on social media ain't lying. But I told him too, I'm like, look, nephew, you gotta be careful
Yeah.
because they not good with them hands no more. So
Hmm.
if they're scared of you, first thing they're gonna try to do is take you out. They
Yeah.
not trying to fight. So like the world done changed, man.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy, man. And everything might set anybody off. You know what I mean? They don't know
Because
how
you
to
never
deal
know
with conflict.
what a person's mindset is and what they're going through, and you could say something to them or look at them or cut them off, anything, and
Right.
and that could set them off. So
Yeah, I see a lot of road rage and everything. I'm like, Pimp, y'all jumping out the car shooting at folks because they cut
it's
you off
not
in
that
traffic.
serious.
Like, hey man, it's a crazy world we're in, man.
Yep, it is.
Let me ask you this:
Yep.
is it considered cheating if you're not married?
Yeah, because if you're in a relationship that is agreed upon, and there are your standards, I guess, that both of y'all share. If you, to me, if you sharing any kind of intimacy with somebody else, that to me that's a form of cheating.
Right, right. And see, a
Communication.
lady, yeah, a lady told me a few years ago when I first started doing these little talks and all that, and she told me that she don't consider it cheating if you're not married. And I'm like, so if you not even if you're in a committed relationship,
You giving somebody else your time. Because if you having conversation or you texting with somebody, that could lead to something. Because what if y'all talk every day outside of your relationship? Somebody's feelings gonna get
right,
involved.
right,
And to me, again, my opinion, that's a form of cheating.
right. And Chloe says she watching her mama got her on lock.
Hey, Chloe. I wish she could be here because I feel that
Yeah,
she has expertise.
right, right. I mean, we'll do the part two, the dating in your fifties. So I know she'll be there for that one. And she said, "Hey, beautiful."
Oh,
And
you
all
ready?
of us went to school together, so we've been running a long time together.
It's a wonderful thing because not everybody can say that they started out together and still here. So
Yeah,
that's a good thing.
right. Now let me
And
ask you
I
this:
thank you for allowing me
Go
this
ahead.
opportunity.
No, boy, it's my pleasure. You one of the women I've always been crazy about and
Oh,
respect.
I appreciate that. I
So
don't know why,
yeah,
but thank you for that.
yeah. I mean, but I told we used to look up to you in the neighborhood, like because
I don't know
you was
why.
always quiet and you
Mm,
always was well respected. So
I guess that's
it
good to
wasn't
know.
yeah, it wasn't hard for us to respect you. You know what I mean? A lot of us was crazy about you back then, but we
Y'all were
knew
my
we
little
knew.
brothers. We were brothers.
Right, right, right. But we knew we couldn't touch you. You know what I mean? How important is a title to you?
Say again.
How important is a title?
I don't get into titles.
There you
I'm,
go.
I'm not a fan of titles, and that could be anything. To me, if
Right,
you got a hat behind a title, then to me that you is something missing. I feel like
right.
because you got some people that don't have a title and that are some of the most important people. I feel like they get overlooked.
That's right. Right.
And I don't knock the people that got titles because they work for that, but it to me is simply a title that shows the work you've done. But you did
Right.
that work to get that title, but holding that title, because to whom much is given, much is,
Right.
you understand?
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm not a fan of titles. I feel like a lot of people hide behind, oh, I'm such and such and I got this. But what are you doing with it?
Right. Right. Like
What are you doing
I've
with
never been crazy about titles either. And then people feel like they deserve a lot just because they have a title. You know what I mean? Like I've dated a lot of people that they never had a title, but we dated or messed around for 15, 20 years.
it?
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because they still had their freedom and I still had mine, but
Mm-hmm.
it was still with respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If I'm gonna respect you, your title ain't got nothing to do with it.
Exactly. Because that respect is given anyway, with or without a title.
Right, right. Now you got girls or boys.
I have both.
Okay. Now is it a difference in raising the girls and the boys?
It is. It is. I was very gentle and lenient with my girls, a little more tougher than my son with my son because as a single mom, I felt I had to be. And there was something in me that felt, and I often said this to him, I'm gonna teach you how to be a man if I gotta be a man myself.
Right, right.
And he was taught, don't cry. You know what I mean? You gotta be
That's right.
tough. You gotta
That's
be
right.
this, you gotta be that, because that's what I thought made him into a man. Some
Right.
of it paid off, some of it didn't. Like right now today, he'll hold the door. He won't let me touch a door. And I've got compliments from women that say, "Oh wow, you did good," because he'll hold doors for women. He makes sure I'm okay, mom. Did you eat? You know, mom, you're all right, type of thing. But he hasn't always made the best decisions. But all in all, I'm proud of him.
Right.
And
I mean,
he's the one that has a son
right.
now.
I mean, but as boys, we're more daredevil, so we're gonna try a lot.
Yeah,
And
and
like
he's my most challenging, and he's in the
yeah,
middle too. So
yeah,
that's yeah.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm the middle child too, so
So you got
and I was,
issues.
yeah, I'm pretty sure I was my parents most challenging too because I was a
Yeah,
daredevil. I ran the
you got
streets.
issues.
You know, what I mean, but I feel like I was more of a daredevil because I was the black sheep of the family. You know what I
How
mean?
so?
I feel like my brother always got what he wanted because he was the oldest. My sister
Mm-hmm.
always got what she wanted because she was the baby,
Mm-hmm.
and I always had to understand everything.
Yeah.
Or take free hand me downs or some, I'm like, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
see.
remember when,
I was guilty of that.
yeah, I remember when he got his first car at 16.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I turned 16, I got his old car and he got another car. And I'm like, hold on, that don't seem right. You know what I mean? But I dealt with it. You know what I mean? I didn't let it affect how I felt about my
Mm-hmm.
family, but it was kind of hard.
And some of that resonates today, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. I see that in my son. Hindsight, looking back, I realize that as a parent. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I remember when I had to do a little jail time in '94, and
Did you?
yeah, I mean it wasn't a whole lot, but and my daddy right before, and I had to turn myself in. So when we got down there, and my daddy told me the craziest thing I had ever heard, and I did not understand it when he said it, but once I got in, I thought about it, I kind of understood it. He was like, I'm glad this you instead of your brother. And I was like, hey man, how you gonna tell me that when you know what I mean? I'm on my way inside. But once I got in there, I thought about it and it made a little sense because I never felt like I had anything to prove.
Mm-hmm.
And Fred always kind of had a chip on his shoulder. Well, he felt like, hey, somebody gonna, yeah, you gonna respect me, you gonna do it. But I can adapt to anything. Like I actually had fun in jail. I had to catch myself
Wow.
because it kind of
Well,
scared me. But like I
okay.
say, I can adapt to anything.
Never heard
Like
that
I
before.
didn't have so much fun that I wanted to stay in there.
Or go back.
But right. But I knew how to. Like I wasn't gonna let it drive me crazy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So I can see the difference in us. You know what I mean? Me and my brother, but that was my dog too. And I know growing
Yeah.
up, everybody probably thought we hated each other, but man, I had the utmost respect for Fred.
I
You
didn't
know
think
what I
that,
mean?
but he's definitely missed. He is.
Oh yeah, man. Like I told him, I didn't have nothing to worry about. Like when I say him and Emmanuel used to fight every year in school. And come
Oh,
back when they
them
come back
two.
when they come back from being suspended, they
Yeah, the
best
two of
friends
them.
all over
Oh
again.
my.
And see, that's how I dealt with him passing away too.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the first time I ever spoke at somebody's funeral. And when I got up there and got to talking, man, and talked about them days at Briarcliff, like people forgot about when he wore those Elvis the Presley, Elvis the King jeans.
I didn't because I was
Yeah,
one
I'm
of the ones
saying when
that
I brought
talked
it up,
about
they were like, "Man, you remember that?" I say, "Pure," but they tore him up all day. They tore him up all day, and I
I
think
think
your
it
brother.
might have been me that gave him the Elvis name, if I'm not could have been. But yeah, we gave him a good one.
I know your brother let him have it, boy. Both of them. I was like, "Boy, what made you wear them jeans?" Because actually, my mama bought me some too, but I had a big dragon on the leg. But I told my mama then, I'm not wearing them jeans. She was like, "Why you ain't gonna get that nail till you wear them?" I said, "Well, I won't get that nails, man. Them thing hung in my closet for 2 or 3 years, and she gave them
Wow.
to my little cousin. I was like, Ruben, I'm not finna wear those.
Wow.
That's crazy, man. And then I raised two girls,
The
but
twins.
I raised them the same way we was raised.
Mm-hmm.
So they got those old school values, and like I
And that's
tell
what's
people,
needed. That's what's needed
right?
because these new parents now,
Yeah, yeah. And see, I try to tell women that if from 0 to 8, your child is a sponge. So whatever morals, values, and standards that you have, if you put it in them, then it won't go anywhere. Because
I
like
would
I
say younger
still,
than 8. I read somewhere that between the first 2 years of their life is when they soaking in everything around them, and that kind of begins to
Right.
shape and mold them into who they are. So that's how important
Right.
it is to be mindful of what you're doing in front of them and what you're teaching them.
Right. And see, I never did anything in front of my kids. Like my kids only met two women that I ever dated. And that's because both of
Okay.
them stayed with me. And I never smoked. I've been smoking weed since I was 14.
So let me ask you this:
That
Why? Why did you only bring them around two of the women? Is that what was your reasoning behind that?
because I knew I wasn't really crazy about them. And I didn't want my kids to be crazy about somebody that I knew wasn't gonna be there. You know what I mean?
Because
Because
I did something similar to that. I was in a relationship with this guy for 7 years, and for the first year to I'll say almost about a year and a half, he never met my kids. He even
right.
accused me of not having kids because he never saw them. And when he did, when he come over my house, it would be when the kids were sleeping, or he'd have to be gone in case they woke up in the middle of the
That's
night
right.
or they got up that morning. And so he deemed himself, oh, I'm a monster because I can't meet your kids.
No.
But he didn't understand why. It was because, you don't need to meet them. It ain't about you and
That's
them right
right.
now.
That's
But
right.
he eventually met him, and we took him around his family and everything. We stayed together for 7 years.
Right. And see, kids are very impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, I didn't want my kids. I didn't want my kids to meet somebody that I knew deep down that I wasn't gonna be with them long. They'll
Yeah,
be here a couple of months, but and I
yeah,
didn't want them crazy about them because they gonna continuously ask about them once they gone, and
right.
then I got to sit up and try to explain why they not here,
Yeah.
and my kids never seen me smoke until they got grown. I was always honest about it, but they never
They
seen it.
didn't have to see you do it. Yeah, that's good.
Right. And Trillian said, "What's up?" She said, "Hey, pretty lady."
Hello,
So she
gorgeous.
just she just passing through.
Oh my gosh.
Now let me ask you this:
Hmm.
families don't get together anymore. Do you think that's a problem?
I do.
Right.
I do. And my family's the same way. I hate that the only time, and this is not even in relation to the virus and everything. This was,
Right.
I feel like my grandmother, once she passed away, it kind
Yeah.
of dwindled down with everybody getting together every Sunday. Yeah, I feel like that's a problem because families need each other.
Yes. Yes, they do. And I think that's once that structure is gone, like the
Yeah.
grandmamas,
Hmm.
and the
Somebody got to
granddaddies.
pick it up. Somebody got to
Yeah.
pick it up and take it
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. And nobody wants to pick it up. Like I talk to my niece and them all the time now about they don't even really know their cousins. Like
Hmm.
we was like my cousin that I grew up with. Oh, we still cool today. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
our kids, they're not really that close. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, look, man, you got folks that I don't want you to run into your folks and y'all start trying to like each other and y'all find out that y'all some kin. Because we got people
Hmm.
all the way down I-20,
Hmm.
all the way from Madison all the way to the west side of Atlanta. So we
Hmm.
got people everywhere. And I feel like you do need to know because once our generation leaves here, the whole family structure gonna be gone.
Yep.
And I really hate that. You know what I mean?
Yep. It's a terrible thing that families
Right,
aren't what they used to be.
right. Now let me ask you this: what's the most you ever spent on a man just because?
Not very much. Not very much. I mean, so little to the fact that I can't even give a dollar amount.
Right.
I can't
Why?
necessarily say there's the reasons behind it. It just never happened that way. And I'm okay with that.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
I
okay with
mean,
that.
because we give women the world sometimes.
And
We
women,
give women the
certain women
world, but
deserve the world.
yeah, yeah. But a lot of women don't. They don't see it the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm not one to just sit back and say, hey, do this, do this. It just never worked out that way that I had to
Right.
spend
Right.
money. I
Yeah. And
mean,
I'm
there's been
not.
times when I picked up the tab, yeah,
Right.
and
Right.
that was done out of kindness. Or I've done things like you pay the meal, I leave the tip. You know what I mean?
Right.
Something like
Right.
that. But as far as, hey, I bought you this, or let me, give you this, or send you this, I've never done that.
Right. But I think when women invest a little bit more, they'll respect the relationship more. Like I think a lot of
Monetarily?
women, I mean, not just monetarily, just invest because I see where a lot of women they don't feel like they have to do anything in the relationship.
So when
And
you say invest more, just what do you mean?
I
Money,
mean
sex?
more, yeah. I
What is
mean
there to invest?
feelings, money, feelings, everything. Like I said, they feel like they don't have to do anything. They feel like they can get whatever just by being them, by being cute, being fine. Like
Well, then that's not a relationship. If you ain't
right,
bringing nothing to the table, just your looks. Like
right,
everybody can look good, everybody can be fine.
right. Oh, look at
Uh,
now my cousin Jerome said, "What? You got Erica
hello,
Wynn on here?"
Jerome.
Hey man, it's yeah. I think if women put more into the relationship, they'll respect the relationship more. And
I'm
because
not gonna say
women,
put more into it. I would say put some into it because to me
well,
that goes both ways. Like I'm not gonna just put and you
yeah,
don't.
yeah. Well, I think a
Like we
lot of
both gotta.
women,
If we both want it, we both got to do some investing.
right? And see, I tell a lot of women that you can't give a man all of you in the beginning. And,
No,
and you can't tell him your whole life story when y'all
no,
first
you
meet.
you
You
can't
got to
even
let
give him
that
all
man talk.
in the first year. I don't think
Right,
he'll ever get all.
right. That's right. That's
So a
right.
guy once told me a long time ago, you should be with somebody that cares about you more than you care about them.
Yeah, yeah. I'm the
And I
same
agree to
way.
that.
Yeah, I'm the
No, but
same
he
way.
said that from the woman's standpoint,
Yeah,
that the
I'm
woman,
saying, but yeah, I'm the same way. Like I want a woman that wants me. If I got to do all the chasing, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I
so
want
you
you to
don't
want
think
me.
chasing is kind of cute? You chase her just a little,
Yeah, a little. Yeah, but if I
but you
got to
shouldn't
do
have to
all the
chase her the
chasing,
whole time.
right, right. Because you, like I said, you don't have anything invested. It's always me giving, giving, giving. But if you chase me a little bit too, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, she can reciprocate and just to know that she does want you. Yeah, I would do that.
Right, right.
I would
And I
do that.
think I think a lot of women need to learn to cook. Like they don't gave up on all the things that men feel is important. Like they
Yeah,
don't cook, they don't clean.
yeah,
Like, come on, you got to.
I
And like
agree.
I told one of my nieces, I'm like, look, even though you don't really know how to cook, you still got to make sure that man get his fruits and vegetables. Like
Hmm.
even if y'all going out to eat consistently, you still got to make sure he eating their fruits and vegetables because, especially if you want that man to take care of you, you should make
Hmm.
sure he is healthy as he can be for as long
Stick
as
around
he
to
can
take
be.
care of
That's
you. You
that's
don't want to have
right,
to end up getting the benefits, the
right,
beneficiary.
right. Because we don't.
I agree. I feel like women should know how to, and to me, that's just the basics of running a household, cooking, cleaning.
Right,
Because if
right,
you can't do that, then you're not, I guess, the wife material.
right. And see, I feel like my mama always taught me to learn how to take care of myself. So that kind of hurt a lot of women because my mama told me learn how to take care of yourself because if a woman get mad, the first two things she gonna take is the pussy and the food. That's why I used to be the only boy in home ec in the eighth, ninth, and 10th grade at Briarcliff cooking. And Laura Overton, she was in my class, and she'll tell you, boy, I was no joke. And I had Miss Smith. Miss Smith used to hate me and love me at the same time because I used to be there talking trash and cooking, but she couldn't deny my skills.
And that
But
holds true
that's
today. You still
oh
talk
yeah,
trash. Yeah, you
of
do.
course,
Yeah.
of course. But it throw a lot of women off. Like a lot of women come and see me, they like, I know a woman stay here. It's too clean. I'm like, no, boo, I take care of me. My house don't
That's a
stink.
good
I'm one of the
thing.
cleanest men you gonna meet. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing.
Yeah, you ain't finna see no ring around my toilet, no ring around my tub. You ain't finna see none of that.
Seat up.
Right, right. I mean, the seat gonna be up because I be by myself, but
No, you put that
you know
seat
what I
up.
mean. Yeah, I mean, I ain't got to be in the with the seat down all the time now. Not as a man.
But no, I think men should be self sufficient too, and the
Right,
woman in his life can complement that.
right, right.
Hey
But
man, let me pause right here. I don't know how you guys do it with this whole podcast thing, but these lights
okay,
have me sweating. What do you do? Do I need some sort
I'm
of
saying
fan
just you
in
could,
here?
yeah. I mean, yeah, you can cut on the fan if you need one.
I'll make it through. Next time I know what to do. So I'm sitting here like, my God, I'm cooking
I
like one of
mean,
those
yeah,
chickens in the oven.
yeah,
So,
because I know it's cold, so we got the heat on and the lights. So yeah,
right. But it's
yeah,
okay. I just had to speak on that. But
yeah.
yeah.
You think women still want to get married now? Because women are bigger players than men now.
I'm gonna say this: women in my age group, women that I know personally, getting married is a thing for them. Um, there are a couple of women I know in particular that I converse with, and her thing was as soon as the year starts, God gonna bless me with a husband. I'm gonna get a husband, da 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 da. And there's nothing wrong with that because we have the right to want what we want. And yes, I
Right,
believe that we weren't put here to be alone. I feel like we should have mates
right,
in our life to share our life with, blah blah blah. But for her, that's her sole focus. I gotta get a husband. Like she wake up every morning, gotta get a husband, husband this, husband that. And I
right,
don't speak on it. I say, just ask God for what you want. That's pretty much what I say. But
right,
in the back of my mind, I feel like while you speaking on a husband, are you ready to be a wife?
right,
You know, you can
right,
ask for something all day long, but when you get it, can you handle it? Are you ready for it? So I feel
right,
like, you want a husband, just in the meantime, while you wait on your husband, do what you got to do to be a good wife to him.
right,
Don't just sit back and say, I want to get married. I want to get married. Do you know what it takes being married? You know,
right, right. And see,
and that's
people,
that's
I
just
think a lot of women have been led astray because they have to be dominant so long, especially when you're a single mother.
and they want a ring on their hand.
Right,
But there's more to it
right.
than just getting that ring.
Because you still gotta let that man be a man. And you if
Be a man. What do you mean by be a man?
I mean, I feel like your man should lead you. He should be the leader of the house.
Yeah, I agree to that. I
And I
agree.
believe women should be submissive. And I know that's
If
a
he's the
hard
right
word
leader,
for a
now I'm not
lot.
gonna just follow behind
Right.
anybody.
But if
He
you're
he got
dating
to be the right
somebody,
leader.
if you date somebody that you don't think can lead you, that's on you.
Now there's leading and there's control. It's a
Right. Yeah,
fine
it's a
line
difference.
between that.
It's a difference. But you know the man being possessive and controlling, then when he trying to lead you in the right direction.
Yeah. Chloe says that he's already a man. I don't think I have to let him be a man. I agree
Right.
because think about it. He's not coming into this if he's not a man.
No, what I say let him be a man, I mean you have to turn off that strong switch.
It
You
depends
got
on
to
what he's doing because I've
right,
heard where the man cheats and her, well, girl, he just being a man. No,
right.
negative.
Well, it is in our nature, but he got to be able to cut it off too.
Oh, girl, he just doing what men do. No.
Nah, nah. Every man don't cheat,
Right.
and they got to get that out their head. Now, if you're attracting a bunch of cheaters, it's something within you that allows that
I agree.
for the man to cheat all the
I
time.
agree.
But
I
whenever
agree.
I've been in a relationship, I ain't never cheated in a relationship. I've been single majority of my life,
Hmm.
so I've always been able to do what I want to do. But in a relationship, nah, because when I decide that I'm in a relationship, I feel like you're the one that you're the only one I need.
That's the commitment. Yeah.
Right. So if I don't feel like you're ready to be the one for me, I'm not gonna tell you we're in a relationship
And then
because
you should
one,
make that known to her. Then don't
oh
know
yeah, I
because
do.
otherwise you're wasting her time,
Right. I'm like
especially
I'm
if she's looking for a relationship.
right. I mean, I'm very honest about who I am and what I believe and all that. Like I don't play games because I don't have time to waste, especially
Right.
now. I really
Right.
don't have any time to waste, and I like to make sure everybody know we're on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and then it's a lot of pressure being my woman because I expect them to greatness. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of sad because we kind of put y'all on a pedestal when we decide to let you be our woman, and I know it's unfair, but we don't
Um,
we don't expect y'all to do anything wrong.
Well, then that's your fault if that's the case.
Right. Yeah. I say I know
Because
it's not
I
fair,
mean, we're
but
women, but we're still human.
right, right. But we like y'all to be the closest thing to our mamas. And
Hmm.
we don't like to think our mama did anything wrong. So
But keep in mind, she wasn't always a mama because you got
right,
here.
yeah, yeah. I said
So,
we don't like to think our mama did anything wrong. But deep down, that's how you got here. Her doing
and
her
I'm sure
thing.
there was some others before your daddy. So
Right. Of course. Now let me ask you this. I think that a lot of women go wrong telling men everything about themselves when they
of
when they first meet them.
course,
And I
yes,
tell
of
women all the
course.
time, a man will tell on himself if you let him talk. But you got to let him talk.
I agree. I never tell anyone everything about me, even in the say that excuse me, that relationship that I spoke of that lasted 7 years. He didn't know everything
Right.
because he just simply didn't need to know.
That's right. That's right. Like women will tell a man, well, the last two boyfriends I had, he done cheated on me, and I shout it.
Mm-mm.
No, no,
Mm-mm.
no, no, no. Now you
That
let him
doesn't need
know
to be
that
brought up.
that you'll put up with that cheating for a minute, even if it don't
That
last
doesn't need to
long.
be brought up.
Right. Right. And then I don't want to hear nothing about your ex.
Right.
I don't talk about my exes. You know what I mean? We all done been through something. Then I feel like you have to be able to leave those in the past. If you
That's right.
can't leave those in the past, you ain't gonna never have no future.
Because they're there for a reason. They're there for
Right,
a reason. I agree.
right. Do you think a small wedding, a big wedding, plays a role in in a relationship? Because I've heard that most people that have big weddings, the marriage don't last. Because first of all, you starting off in a whole lot of debt, and if I'm gonna go in debt, I'd rather put that down on a house or something.
Well, honestly, I feel like before you even get married, the type of wedding you're going to have needs to be discussed by both parties because of
Right,
that.
right.
Um, and I've even referred to a wedding as a dog and pony show because weddings usually
That's
aren't
right.
only about the bride and the groom; they're about everybody else that's going to be there.
Right,
Because you got to please them, you got to feed them, you got to, why she wear that or what? It's always something. So no,
right,
I'll go to the courthouse.
right,
I would do a private ceremony with just me and him and whoever need to be there because
right.
it's not about everybody else.
That's right.
You spending all this is my opinion again, you're spending all that money.
That's right. And
So
the wedding gonna last about an hour and a half. Spend
right
15,000, 20,000 on an hour
on
and
the
a half,
location, on food, you got to pay the
right.
person to do it. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
And
I am
half
not.
of the people that's there, they're envious or jealous, or they don't even like you. They just ain't told
Right.
you.
They coming just to
So
be nosy or to have something to
that's
say. So
right.
that's why I call it a dog and pony show. So I'm not a if I
Right.
were getting married for the second time, I would do a private ceremony somewhere. I would go to the courthouse. And even now, they're making the courthouse ceremonies a little nicer and a little bit more, personal. So, yeah.
Right. And I'm the type I might be married for 4 or 5 years before I tell anybody
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
very private. Or I get married and then I will have a nice reception.
That's exactly what I would do too.
Yeah,
And
I
then
will
and
have a
that
nice
and that would
reception.
only be for the people that, mean something to both of us for us to share it with them.
Right.
I'm not a fan of the super big weddings.
Nah, man, because like I say, man, it's crazy. It really is.
But I
Now,
don't knock those that do. I've gone to
right,
some really
right,
beautiful weddings and that's what they chose. So I respect that. But for me, let me make that clear. It's nothing I would do, but I don't have anything against people that have done it.
right. Now, how you feel about the gender roles today? Because they like to act like men and women are the same. They like to act like,
No.
yeah, they
Personally,
like to
I
act like
disagree with
boys and
that.
girls are the
I
same.
disagree with
Right,
that. I disagree with that. There's man and there is woman, and that's it. That's the difference. I don't want to be
right,
a man, and I don't want no man and want to be a woman.
right,
So
right.
no.
And that's the same conversation I have with my female friend all the time. I'm like, look, Shot, I need you to be as feminine as possible. I got the nigga shit sold up.
Thank you.
I
And
don't
I don't
need
want to learn to change a tire. I can
right,
mentally know how to change a tire. I can say, oh, well, first you get this and you do that. But physically, I do not want to change a tire.
that's right. Like I
I
don't
do
feel
not
like
want
women
to
should pump
know.
gas, take out the trash. You know what I mean? I don't know, man.
Now I've done those things because I'm single. I'll take the
Right.
trash out. But as far as
Right.
anything else manly, you get a man in there to do that for you.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's a man in the house, yeah, that's the man's job. And
Oh yeah.
I I hear women complaining all the time about the man left the trash in there, and I'm be like, hey man,
If
come
you
on.
if you're there to put something in the trash, you can be there to take the trash out.
Right. Right. And
Otherwise, you need not be there.
I ain't never wanted my woman smelling like gas. So you know what I mean? Nah, I got that. You can go pay, but nah, I do the pumping.
Yeah, I saw something on social media where the guy was sitting on the passenger side and the lady was out pumping the gas. And I had a problem with that because whatever the relationship was between them, he's still a man. He can pump that gas.
Right. Right. Now, how you feel about women that talk to their friends about their relationships?
That's a no-no.
There you go.
That's a big no-no.
Yeah.
You my girl and all, and I may share with you how I might be feeling about something because you're my friend and I should be able to talk to you. But you don't need to know the ins and outs of everything because that can be used against me, or you never know
Right.
what her intentions could be. So
Right.
no, some
And
things it goes in my house, it needs to stay in my house.
right. And see, like I tell women, one of your friends gonna want what you got. So if
Exactly.
you bragging on your man all the time, talking about how y'all have sex and all that, ooh, somebody gonna want what you got
For
because it's
everything he does for you. Yep.
right, right. Because there's a lot of desperate women out here.
And you
You know
never
what I
know
mean?
why she coming over your house all the time after everything you
Yeah,
done told her.
right, right. And I mean, and then when you tell them your business, especially when y'all having arguments and all that, they gonna they not gonna remember the good part because 9 times out of 10 you ain't gonna tell them
Exactly.
that nothing good. So they gonna
Exactly.
still hate that man or be mad with that man, and y'all cool, and they still got an attitude towards that man. That's
Yep.
yeah. People need to keep people out of their relationships because, like I tell people, as many people as you open your relationship up to, that's how many people can mess up your relationship,
Exactly.
and you never
Exactly.
know anybody's intentions.
And it's
Do
usually
you
the
think
ones that
you're
are closest to you that can do the most harm.
right? Right. Because they'll start telling some of your other business that he ain't got no business
Mhm.
knowing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So do you think your childhood dictate your adulthood?
Yes. For me, I can't speak on
Right.
anyone else, but for me, most definitely the good and the bad.
Right. Right.
The good and the bad. It's made me who I am, in addition to the good and the bad things I've experienced as an
Right.
adult. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know a lot of stuff. Like I say, my mama's influence is still in me. My dad's
Yeah.
influence is still in me. I know I've changed a little bit, but my core values they'll never change.
Yeah, and I attribute that to both my mom and my dad. They're still together. They've been together since they were teens. So to me, that speaks volumes.
Right. Now let me ask you this: if you're the breadwinner in the relationship,
Mm,
can you can you
mm.
still respect your man?
I'm not gonna say I lose respect for him, but it would really depend on why am I the breadwinner? Why aren't you working? Is it something health wise? Are you sorry? I don't know.
Right. Right.
But and I get it. You falling hard times or you got laid off. That's fine. But you cannot get complacent or comfortable in that position.
Right.
You got to contribute. You got to do something. And it's,
Right.
and even if it means I make more than you, that's okay. At least you're bringing something.
Right.
You
Can
can
you
work
still
part time.
respect him being the man of the house if you make more than him?
I can because he working. He
Right.
bringing something. Now, I can't respect him if he's bringing nothing, and he's okay with that.
Right.
But if he's bringing something, it doesn't matter to me who makes the most. As long as there is
Right.
something is always better than nothing in any case. And he's still the
Right.
man because he
Right.
is the man.
Right. And I've noticed a lot of women that they can't respect the man because they make more money.
I wouldn't
And
do that because again, he
right.
he probably just down on his luck for that time being. Just because he's that way now, he doesn't have to stay that way. Now, if he only
Right.
making $9 an hour, he been on that job 3 years, then we got a problem.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just set your sights a little bit higher than that.
Right.
But if he
And
getting
then
up, going to work every day and doing, doing he's supposed to do at that job, and he working, he grinding, then it's okay because he was the man in the beginning. You know what I mean? If he didn't start
right.
out that way and he got that way, that's fine. But you cannot get that way and stay that way and be okay with that.
Right. And like I've seen many relationships where the man can take a woman that has nothing and he can build her up, or he can be cool with her not having much,
Mm-hmm.
but then she has to contribute other things to the relationship.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? And hey man, women, I don't know.
Now,
It's
if I were in a
crazy.
relationship and say if I wasn't working and he was working and taking care of everything financially, then I would solely take it upon myself to make sure that the house is straight. He wouldn't come
Right,
home to a dirty house. There would be food
right,
there. You know what I mean? I would do my part
right,
versus just sitting back and wallowing in it or taking it all in. I couldn't do that.
right. And like I tell people, you got to have some relationship goals. Like I ask people all the time, what are your relationship goals? And they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, okay, well, one day y'all got to define who does what in the relationship.
Right.
So it won't become a problem. If he the sole provider, yeah, you shouldn't have no problem taking care of the house or the kids. You
Right.
know what I mean? But like and me, if my woman work day is longer than mine, I don't mind cooking.
Right.
I don't mind cleaning up because I've been doing it all my life anyway. So it don't. Now I don't expect you to leave a bunch of stuff around for me to clean up,
Right.
but yeah,
I
I
agree.
don't have a problem with it,
I agree.
and I love to cook, so that's not a problem either. Now, have you ever dated somebody that your friend or relative have dated?
Um, no. Luckily, because we don't have the same taste, I guess. So that's
Right,
a good thing.
right, right.
That's a good thing.
Well, can you would you mind somebody dating somebody that you've dated?
I've got mixed emotions about that. It would depend on why I left him.
Right,
And now, if it was somebody I just couldn't stand, which, well, she can have, the one man's trash is another man's treasure. But if it was something,
right,
that it ended on a good note and, we still okay and there's some residue of feelings there, then I might be like,
right,
I don't like that.
right. And then to me, it kind of violates, especially if they knew you were crazy
Friendship
about the
rule.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And honestly, a true friend wouldn't do that. Even if the desire is there, just out of friendship, she'd be
right,
like, nah, I wouldn't do that. Because there's so many other men out there. I
right,
wouldn't do it to my friend. I would, hey, I appreciate it, but and you fine and all, but no.
right. Like all my boys know, they can trust me around their women. Like some
Mhm.
of their women call and talk to me if they not getting along. They'll call and talk to me and ask me a couple of questions, and because I don't have no desire to be with nobody that my friends have been with or my
Right.
relatives. You know what I mean? And 9 times out of 10, if y'all cool, we gonna be cool.
They
You
just
know what I mean?
automatically come
But
into the friendship
right,
family and you wouldn't look
right,
at them like that.
right. And then a lot of times when y'all break up, hey, I don't want to have nothing to do with you anyway. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
told my mama's boyfriend, like your sole purpose of being in her life is to make her happy.
Hmm.
So if you're not making her happy no more, pimp, I need you to get the hell on, pimp. You know what I mean? Because hey, that's I never allowed myself to get real close to my father's wife, my sister's boyfriends. Me and some of Fred girlfriends were cool, but I ain't never really allowed myself to get too close to them because.
Well, why? I mean, if they've accepted that person into their life, why not?
But I give them that respect. Like if
Hmm.
I don't like them, I won't even come around your house. I see
Hmm.
you somewhere else. Or when I have to be around them, I respect them. But like I don't entertain fake conversations or none of that. Like
Well, no, you
and then
shouldn't
it's,
entertain fake conversations.
but if
I
I
mean,
don't feel like you treating them right, nah, I can't.
oh no, if they're
I
not
can't.
getting
Yeah,
treated right, no,
right,
no,
right.
no.
Now they might be in love, But you know, I don't.
But then
I don't
that's
like
on
it.
them. That has nothing to do with you.
Right. I mean, that's why I show the respect. But like I say, I can't be around like that. Like,
Yeah.
because I
And that's
can't
the best
watch
thing
it.
to do is to stay away.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you see them, be cordial, but keep it moving.
That's it. Like
Yeah.
I hate it. I actually went to do something to my mama's last boyfriend because when she got to the point where she couldn't defend herself no more, and he
Was it
tried to
physical?
not well. I don't know because he knew better than to let me know it. But hey man, I was finna do something to him, and the only reason I didn't is because she was there and she couldn't leave. And he was like, man, I sure appreciate you coming to talk to me like a man, nigga. I don't want to hear all that. Yeah, but I came to do your bitch ass. But you know what I mean? And the only reason I didn't is because she was in the house and she couldn't get around like she used to. But when she could defend herself, I didn't really worry about her. But when she got to the point where she couldn't defend herself no more,
that was the
that's
right
my
thing.
job.
That was the right thing.
Yeah, man. But
that was the right thing.
And I always love the underdog too. Like, you can't take advantage of nobody that I'm with. No, that I'm cool with. No, you can't take advantage of them, man.
What do you mean take advantage? Like use them or?
Yeah. I take that real person. Nah, man. Because I've always been everybody's protector around me. You know what I mean?
You're a natural nurturer.
Yeah.
Well, they got to get themselves in a position too to stand up for themselves because you can't do it all. Because if you're going to come to their defense, but yet they still with this person, allowing this person to do whatever to them, then that doesn't make sense.
Right. But see, like I tell my daughters, I don't really worry about them when they're not really in love. You know what I mean? Like, I know you got your guard up when you ain't in love. I need to meet the nigga when you call yourself in love. So, because then you're going to kind of let your guard down. And I've always had the same conversation, pimp. You don't ever put your hands on them. They belong to me, and I don't put my hands on them.
Well, that shouldn't even be an issue. That goes without saying. There's never a hands issue in a relationship. And if certain things should not even be said to me. I'm not gonna deal with you saying certain things because I feel like if you can say anything, you'll do anything. So no.
Oh yeah. Like I remember my daughter wanted me to smoke some weed with one of her friends one time. I remember one of her little boyfriends. I was like, hey baby, no, I can't do that. I don't ever want us to be that close.
Don't do that.
You know what I mean? Because then if he lose respect for me, he gonna lose respect for you too. And like I tell him, if you ever touch her, you don't have to guess. You just know I'm looking for you as soon as I find out. Right. And I'm not coming to talk. And I always tell them, okay, if y'all like, I know my daughters. They got a mouth like me. So if you can't handle the conversation, pimp, I tell them, hey, shout out, if you give him my number, let me deal with y'all. Because once it go past that, I'm telling you, pimp,
well, see, that's all a part of the getting to know phase. I'm sure he will know how she is as he's getting to know her.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not a surprise that she's mouthy because he knows that from the beginning. It's just a matter of what he will and won't put up with that she says to him.
Right. And if you can't put up with it, pimp, I'm telling you, it's best to leave now.
Yeah.
I'm not coming to talk to you when I come looking for you.
Wanda says a man should never put his hands on a woman. What about if a woman decides she want to put her hands on him because she know he a man, he ain't gonna hit me?
Yeah, I done been in that position before.
And you got some men that say if you can give a lick, you can take one.
Right.
I disagree with that. I feel like a man shouldn't put his hands on a woman, and a woman shouldn't put her hands on a man either.
Right. And a lot of women do it because they know the man won't do nothing to them. But I remember a girl tried to fight me one time. It was so cute to me. I couldn't do nothing but laugh. Then she got mad because I laughed at her. Because she told me she knew karate and all this. So, man. Hey, man, she ran up on because she was tripping because she couldn't punk me out. She was like, "Oh, you just gonna walk up on me? You just gonna walk? Hey, baby, what you punk niggas out? Hey, boo, I'm not scared of you." But she charged me, and her head came to my chest, and she
Mhm.
was all this here, and I'm like, I just grabbed her by her arms, and I was like, "Hey, boo, what are you doing? No, you don't just walk up on me. You don't just walk up on me." I'm like, man, shout
I
out.
find that works best when it get heated like that. I gotta
Right.
go
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you gonna make me want to put my hands on you, so it's best that I leave. But usually it's the other way because, like your daughter, I mean, I have a mouth too. You know what I mean? And
Right.
in the heat of an argument, you say whatever because you're arguing,
Right.
and it's gonna make somebody want to put their hands. So it's best to leave. Get out of
Yeah.
there. Get out of there.
And then look, she called Clayton County and told them I was holding her hostage.
And you in Clayton of all the counties that
Hey man, so look, I know how the laws act. You know what I mean? So I'm like, Shawty, hold on, you telling them I'm holding you hostage? So I knew all I had to do was let her outside. You know what I mean? And she actually waited until the police got there, and then she pulled she pulled off. But
oh
she didn't
no.
she didn't have no license or insurance at the time.
So it came
And
back on
I
her.
could have
Oh,
right, I could have been a sucker and been like, hey, pimp, you know, she ain't got no license or insurance, but I'm not a sucker. And when he pulled up, we both laughed. He like, is that the person that said you were holding her hostage? He was like, how is she a hostage and she outside in her car? I said, Doc, I don't know. And he was like, do she have anything here? Do she need to come back over here? I'm like, nah. I'm like, I said, we done broke up. She pissed off. So I don't. And he was like, hey, man, you probably have nothing over here tonight. I said, you probably right. Like, we sat there and laughed about it, and he left me alone, man. I was like, baby, how you know how many police gonna come around here? You talking about some you being held hostage?
wow,
But
that
I couldn't
could
mess
turned
with her
out
no
a
more.
whole nother way.
Yeah, yeah. And she wanted to get back together. No, baby, I don't. Once
Yeah,
you
you
call the
gotta call the
police on
police.
me,
That's a
that's
wrap.
yeah, yeah.
That's a wrap. Because can
I
you know
don't.
what? It could have only gotten worse from there.
Right, right.
No
But
going
some
back.
people think drama is love, and I try
No,
to tell people,
no, no,
no,
no, no,
no.
no. Drama
If
is
you got
not
love
love.
for me, yeah, if you got love for me, do not put. You should make sure I'm my stress is relieved. You should be bringing me no more stress.
That's
So
right.
nah, I can't
I
do it,
definitely agree to that.
man. So now we done gave him about an hour, shout already.
Oh
Just
wow.
yeah, just great conversation, man.
It is so good to see you and to be here. I thank you.
Hey man, I'm always a phone call away, shout. You know, you my partner, man.
Yeah.
You came to one of my birthday parties about 10 years ago. And Chloe was there.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
yeah, yeah. So it's always a pleasure, man.
it is.
So what are you doing now? I know you say you're not a flight attendant anymore. What are you
No,
doing
no,
now?
sir.
What are you doing now?
I am, like I said, I'm a grandmother now, and I have a new grandson that I adore. And I work from home doing contractor work with General Motors.
Okay,
And I run a business on the side, a little vegetarian thing on the side. It is, the works are still being put in it, but yeah.
okay. What's the name of the business? I want
Maggie
some
and
people.
Cooper. The business is named after our dogs. The business is Maggie and Cooper. We're working on the website, and we make a lot of vegetarian products like skincare.
Okay,
Yeah, skincare.
okay. So how can people get in touch with you? I want them to support your business.
Right now, you have to contact me personally because the website is still being developed.
Okay,
And I've done a few pop-up shows. Haven't done any lately because I'm actually getting over COVID, which I'm fine now, and
okay.
so I kind of laid low a little while, but I'm gradually working my way back on the scene.
Okay. Well, if you ever get some advertising or you do a pop up, let me
I
know. I
definitely
would
will.
I
I
would
definitely
definitely
will.
advertise it for you.
I definitely will.
And it was a pleasure talking to you,
The pleasure
man.
was mine as well. I look forward to doing this again,
Yeah.
and talking more on a bigger platform and more subjects because there's a lot to talk about. And Chloe,
Right.
please be here.
Yeah.
I
I,
need my
I know
sister.
they talking about doing one this week. So once I find out what's everybody's schedule, we'll definitely lock it in.
Yeah,
And
with some good
I would
questions
definitely
and
love to
some good stuff to
yeah, I
talk
would
about.
definitely love to have you back. And me and Chloe, we done did about 3 or 4 together, and it's always funny. Always,
Yeah, and I love the feedback. I love the feedback.
right,
Thank you, Wanda and Jerome and Trillian and Chloe, everybody.
right. So with that, we gonna end it because I know you probably into football now because most women have gotten into football and the games are coming on at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, yeah.
So who you going for today?
I don't really care. I never care
Okay,
about who's winning. It's all about the atmosphere in the room.
okay,
I
okay.
mainly talk or drink or eat, so I can care less who wins.
All right. Well, we're gonna end it right there. And as everybody know, my favorite line is y'all be easy.
Yeah, that used to be my nickname, Easy. So I'm a fan of Easy. I am a fan. Not in that way. Not in that
Right,
way.
right, right. And I
It's
would
because I
talk to
like to keep
you.
things calm and smooth and go
Right,
the easy
right,
route. Yeah,
right, right.
the laid back.
And I will be in touch with you, man. I
All
really
right. I
will.
look forward.
Okay, baby.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.